jar of water, paintbrushes, and some watercolours. Just before we get into this video, please do subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. This really helps grow my channel and for me to create more content. I'm starting off with some leaves, pushing my brush out and filling in the centre. I'm making these upside down teardrop shapes. And I'm making these shapes going down. These can be different sizes. Once these have dried, I'm going over these with some more paint for extra shading. For the stem, I'm painting a line going down and connecting each leaf to the stem. Next, I'm painting some roses, starting off in the middle, making semi-circle motions, going back and forth. As I'm painting towards the outer rows, I'm pushing my paintbrush down, picking up more paint as I'm going round each petal. And I'll do the same for this rose. For the leaves, I'm pushing my brush down and dragging it towards the rose. So you want to push that brush down and drag it towards the rose. And just adding some more green paint for some extra shadows. Using a smaller brush, I've picked up some more paint, lightly making shadows around the petals to give it more dimension. Next, I'm painting a cluster of flowers, using the side of my brush and pushing it down to make each petal. I'm just randomly placing them and picking up more paint as I paint each flower. For the stem, I'm just making a line going down and connecting each of the flowers. For the leaves, I'm making that teardrop shape again and just filling them in, randomly placing them around. This does not need to be perfect. Also, I did use the same colour to add some detail in the middle of each flower. My camera didn't pick this up, but I'll show you at the end. Next, I'm going to be painting a berry branch. Painting a line at an angle and drawing that line down. And adding some more branches. I'm also leaving some gaps so I can add some berries in between. For the berries, I'm going to be adding some small circles, scattering the berries around the branches and filling in between the gaps. Keep painting on the berries till you think this is enough. For the next flower, I'm painting an open daisy. I'm starting off by making that initial petal, then dragging out the paintbrush. As you go around, pushing the paintbrush out and using more of the edge of the brush. Using more paint, just fill out more of the petals using the same technique. I'm just going to add some small dots for the stamen and just going around the edge. And adding some yellow in the centre. And just to finish that look, I'm just going to add a simple stem. Once your flower has dried, you can use some more paint to add some more details. Next, I'm going to be painting this leaf. Painting a line going down and just marking out the lines. Going up but making the lines smaller. For each of the stems, I'm just painting these mini leaves. I'm pushing the brush in and outwards. Just adding a light pressure and dabbing them on. Adding some more paint and letting it bleed out for an extra shade. Next, I'm going to be painting another cluster of flowers. Pushing my brush out and making small circular motions, trying to bunch them together. Adding a deep pink to the middle and letting that bleed out. I'm going to connect each of these flowers using a stem. I'm going back in with a deeper pink for each of the flowers. I'm dropping in some yellow on each flower. For the leaves, I'm going to use the same technique I showed you before, just pushing the brush down and dragging that in. Once your flowers have dried, I'm just using a darker paint for the stamen. It gives it more detail, and just going over the yellow parts. Next, I'm going to be painting an open wild rose, making a big petal, pushing my brush out and filling in the centre. I'm picking up more paint as I go to each of my petals. I'm lightly going around each petal with a darker shade and adding some yellow in the centre and adding some darker dots again for the stamen. As this can bleed out, I'm just going to go over this again with some more paint. I've added some leaves again, but adding a tip at the end. Once that has dried, I'm just going to be adding some more paint for some extra details and shading. And here are the final floral paintings. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.